Happy Black History Month, y'all. For me, this has always felt like less of a commemorative month and more like a reset, like a new year, you know? Not January, like now, February 1st. Because this is when we take inventory of who we are, where we come from, and what we're carrying forward, whether we realize it or not. And I want to say this gently but clearly. No matter what's happening around us, no matter how chaotic the world feels, one thing has never changed. We are still here and we are still Black. And that continuity, it matters. Black History Month didn't start as a celebration, right? It started as protection. In 1926, Carter G. Woodson, and I'll tell you about him tomorrow, he created what was then called Negro History Week because he saw something dangerous happening in real time. Black people were being erased on purpose, not forgotten, removed. He understood that when people lose their history, they don't just lose their past, they lose orientation. They lose grounding. They become easier to move, easier to fracture, easier to convince that they don't belong. So this wasn't nostalgia, this was survival, memory as an anchor. And here's something that stays with me. Researchers have found that statistically, most people are remembered for about 3 generations. Your grandparents might know your great-grandparents. You might know your grandparents. Your children might remember you, you know? And after that, names fade, stories blur, details disappear. 3 generations, y'all. 3. And I don't like those odds because that means that if we don't intentionally remember, whole lives vanish. And when you think about Black history through that lens, slavery, migration, segregation, resistance, the joy, the creativity, you realize how much of our story would have been lost without that deliberate effort. Black History Month is us refusing to let that happen. That's why this month feels like a new year to me. It's when we say we're not starting from scratch. We're starting from inheritance. Everything that we're standing on, language, faith, music, humor, resilience, came from people who made it through things that they were never meant to survive. And they didn't do all that so we could forget them. And yeah, the world feels heavy right now. That's real. But what steadies me is knowing this. Systems rise and fall. Borders change, laws change, narratives change. And still, Black people remain, still creating, still building, still loving, still imagining futures that don't exist yet. That's not accidental, that is continuity. Black history isn't only the moments that make it into the textbooks. It's the kitchens, the churches, the classrooms, the aunties, the grandparents, the ones whose names never made headlines but shaped everything anyway. Those lives matter too. So when I say Black History Month feels like our new year, this is what I mean. It's a moment to remember that we are part of a chain, one that stretches backward and forward at the same time. As long as we remember, we extend that chain. That's not just history. That's responsibility. That's love. That is legacy. And that, to me, is worth beginning again every single year. Happy New Year, y'all.
Black History Month is 100 years this February 1st. And a lot of things are lined up in this episode for you guys to watch. A lot of things that the black people were not taught in school. A lot of hidden things. A lot of hidden things, inventions, discoveries that were done by black people. This is how I want to celebrate my Black History Month. I mean, it's about 28 days of celebration or remembrance, and I feel that a lot has not been said about it that should be said. So come along with me. Let's work together. What I've put together for you. Credit belongs to original creator of every content and stitches in today's episode. And don't forget, subscribe, like, and share if you love this great content because, hey, let's celebrate Black, what they have done. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Am I the only one who is tired of seeing us in shackles every single Black History Month? As if that's where the story began. No, this is real. Shackles are real. The pain that we felt was real. But that's not where it all began. Let me take you back to a time where we were kings and queens. What we don't see in the media often enough is what Black people were before enslavement, before all that pain, before all that suffering. Yes, that's valid, but remember that before we were enslaved, we were established. Before there were chains, there were crowns. Before there were plantations, there were palaces. Before we were in survival mode, we had sovereignty. We actually came from systems, from knowledge, from power, from order. We didn't come from nothing. And when they tried to break us, some of us actually refused. We ran, we fought. We remembered who we were. And in Jamaica, we didn't just survive slavery, we resisted it. We became rebels, we became maroons. We went up into the hills and took Africa. And from the hills, we brought that into our culture. Rebellion wasn't something that Jamaicans learned. It was something we carried within us. From Africa to the island to the world. Everywhere we landed, we adopted, we created, we transformed. Different rhythms, different accent, but the same root. So when we talk about Black history, let's not just talk about bondage. Remember who you were: kings, queens, and now builders, rebels, people who stand together, who fight together. This is who we are. Yes, slavery did happen. Yes, we survived it. Yes, there is still systematic racism, but that's not all you are. From Africa to Jamaica to everywhere across the world, together we stand. That is our history, and that is the story that I'm telling this Black History Month.
See, a lot of histories were hidden. A lot of things were mistold or misinformed or narratives that are vague and lies became the order of the day. And of course, these are the things that we've come to debunk. What about this? Let's go listen to it. I'll be right back.
These are three black geniuses you were never taught about. And the last one helped build the atomic bomb. Number 3, George Robert Carruthers, 1939 to 2020, space physicist who built the ultraviolet camera astronauts set up on the moon during Apollo 16. His telescope captured Earth's auroras from the lunar surface and changed space science forever. NASA later renamed a mission after him. Number 2, Hubert Mack Thaxton, 1909 to 1974, the fourth black American to earn a PhD in physics and one of the hidden architects of America's early tech age. He produced breakthrough research on proton scattering, engineered some of the first color TV systems, designed radar and jet aircraft systems, and worked on atomic projects so classified most remain sealed to this day. Number 1, Maudie Daniel Taylor, 1912 to 1976, valedictorian, recruited the moment he graduated in 1935 to teach chemistry. Earned his PhD at the University of Chicago, then joined the Manhattan Project, where his rare earth chemistry helped build the atomic bomb. Later, he became a powerhouse professor at Howard and wrote a chemistry textbook used nationwide. They hid their names. Say them out loud. Follow for more untold stories, because this journey is just beginning.
Black history they didn't teach you in school. Oscar Micheaux was the first black independent filmmaker in the U.S. He directed and produced 44 films through his own production company. His films challenged racial injustice, racial stereotypes, and violence against black people, and even controversial issues within the black community. His films also showed realistic depictions of black people and their lives at the time. In the 1980s, after his death, Micheaux was given a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He also received awards from the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame and the Directors Guild of America. Like, comment, share, and follow for more Black history stories.
Are you aware that black people were successful from wherever they were brought from? That's a fact. They've debunked it. I mean, they've changed the narratives. They've, but the truth is, black people from wherever they are, they were kings, they were queen, they were achievers, inventors, creators, and all of that. And that is why you see, when they were brought, few of them were, excuse me, a lot of them were taken from Africa, and they were taken to Caribbean. Some of them in North America, and then but don't ever forget that this bunch of people are successful people, creative people, knowledgeable people. And that is why I'm taking my time today to let you know that everybody that were taken to one place or the other were taken to develop the place. They won't tell you this. Yes, that's what they did. But They push out the narrative. Oh, they were this, they were that, from where they're coming from, blah blah blah. Yeah, they are top best of the best from everywhere they were taken from. They were taken to places they don't know. Nobody knows them. They divided the language. They changed a lot of things. But hey, don't ever forget that Black History Month is a month. Oh God.
Happy Black History Month. Did you know that Black Wall Street was not the only Black thriving community? There were actually over 60 Black communities thriving in the United States at the time. The communities were destroyed, burned, and flooded, and still have yet to be replicated to this day. Insane. Juneteenth actually happened 2.5 years after slavery officially ended, quote unquote. But enslaved people in Texas were actually not notified about this because the Texas people needed workers. Like, they needed the labor to keep going on, so they were not even informed that slavery had ended. Crazy. Harriet Tubman was actually a military strategist. She led a Civil War raid that freed over 700 slaves. Now, that's a lot of slaves to be freeing. Oh, with no shots fired. Insane. Y'all know that phrase, "sold down the river"? Yeah, that's literal. It referred to enslaved people that got sent to harsher plantations. Insane. Like, it was a literal form of punishment, like to be sent to a harsher plantation with harsher punishments where people would oftentimes be unalived in the end. Yeah, insane. We're doing this all month long, so tap in, follow me for more, and let's keep this going. Let's keep running it.
Black history facts they'll never teach you in school. Part 8. Black women, no matter how much we fuss, fight, and tug and pull with our hair, we are aware that our hair is beautiful. But did you know that there was actually a time where the beauty of our hair was so threatening to the social order that they made us cover it up? In the 18th century, the hairstyles that Black women wore were so elaborate and so beautiful that they caught the attention of all men, and yes, that includes white men. And of course, they didn't like that. Protect the social order, in 1786, the white ruling class in Louisiana passed what's called the Tinoir laws, basically prohibiting Creole women from wearing their hair out and forcing them to push it up into headscarves like this. Creole women did cover their hair up, but they did so with intricate fabrics and jewels, eventually making it a fashion statement. So I tell this fact to remind you, queens, that no matter how you choose to wear your crown, your hair is beautiful, and just know it has the ability to disrupt white social orders.
February 1st, 2026, and that means that Black History Month is turning 100 years old. See, Black History Month originally started as Negro History Week, started by Carter G. Woodson on February 7th, 1926. It was later expanded to be Black History Month as we know it now, but it started off in 1926 in pursuit to educate people on Black history all year round. There's something very satisfying about Black History Month and its origins turning 100 this year at the same time that we're seeing a nation built on fascism and bigotry and hatred starting to crumble. This current moment is very scary for pretty much everybody, Black and non-Black alike. However, this current moment is also very in line with the nation's history and with Black history, something that we would know if we studied more Black history. As we see this current administration doing everything they can to erase Blackness, Black community, Black culture, Black education, now is an excellent time to stand 10 toes down on it, to get more invested, to learn more, to do more, to be more a part of your community. Black History Month is turning 100 years old, and that means 100 years of Black education and resistance and resilience and celebration. And right now, we really get to determine what that next 100 years gets to look like, because Black history is going to be here long after all this is gone.
Every year, it's the same old story. Let's talk about Black history, but never Black glory. So our options are either trauma or slavery. And it's not that we don't appreciate the story told in roots, but how can you teach us about the African family tree and neglect to mention the fruits? So what about the ancient Africans who created medicines, navigations, or technology? Why don't they teach us about the Dogon tribes in Mali who show knowledge of advanced astronomy? Why haven't we ever read a piece of literature or fiction about Cheddar Man, one of the oldest skeletons discovered in Britain? He had blue eyes but dark skin pigment. So you can teach me about Pythagoras' theorem. What about the Ishango or Lobombo bones, the world's oldest mathematical instrument? Is it because it was invented by African women, the world's first mathematicians? Using the bones to track the lunar cycle in villages, they calculated time before your Rolex. So I don't mind talking about Black history, but let's not forget the Black literacy, Black ability, and Black dignity. Let's not reduce our history to the plain and fractured pieces. Black history is the history of our species, and no matter the color of the skin on your face, we are all African, and there is only one human race.
Hello everybody, it's day 4 of this Black History Month series. If you want to make sure you get your lessons every day, follow me. Every day I'll be posting people that you may not know in your history. Since this president of the United States is trying to take away our voice, we should definitely let our pride be known. Know your history. I want y'all to finish this statement with me for the next person we're talking about in Black history. Behind every great man is a great... If you said woman, you are correct. Next person we have on this list today is Dorothy Height. Dorothy Height spent 98 years of her life fighting for civil rights for African American men and women. Dorothy Irene Height was born March 24, 1912 in Richmond, Virginia. Her family later moved to Rankin, Pennsylvania, where she excelled as a student. Eventually, she got a scholarship to attend college. Dorothy Height was inspired to work with the National Council of Negro Women. Through the NCN, Height focused on ending the lynchings of African Americans and reconstructing the criminal justice system. She became the 4th president of the NCNW. And under her leadership, she supported voter registration in the South and financially aided several civil rights activists through the country. She was president of the NCNW for 40 years. Height's prominence in the civil rights movement and unmatched knowledge and organization meant that she was regularly called to give advice on political issues. She even consulted with Eleanor Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, and Martin Luther King himself. In 1968, Height helped other civil rights activists organize the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. What's crazy is many of these meetings that she helped organize, she wasn't even allowed to speak. That made her so much more passionate about women's rights and women's voices in America. For all her efforts during the civil rights movement, Height was awarded and recognized by many organizations. So when we are remembering our history, let's not forget about all the women that made it possible. This is day 4 of Black History. See you tomorrow for day 5.
Black history facts you'll never learn in school, part 2. If you've gone to a public school in the United States, you have at one time or another experienced free lunch or free breakfast. And for that, you have the Black Panther Party to thank. Black Panther Party had many successful social programs that helped aid the Black community. But in January of 1969, the Black Panther Party established the Free Breakfast for School Children's program in Oakland, California. This program went from feeding a handful of kids in Oakland to expanding all over the country, feeding thousands of kids per day. Not only did it improve a child's performance rate in school, but it was helping combat the negative image of the Black Panther Party in the media. The FBI did everything in their power to dismantle this program, but now parents were urging politicians to feed children before school. The government established a breakfast program in 1975, but it wouldn't be possible without the Panthers.
Yes, it's a month that is special, that we all need to bring out the best of the best that happened to our people, not only the negative things, but a lot of positive things, positive achievement, great things that were achieved that they have covered up, they have made of non-effect. They made you think that nothing really happened to the Black folks. A lot of great and mighty things happened to them. They changed the world. They built the world. They transformed the trajectory of the entire universe, which was not spoken about. And this is my way of celebrating Black History Month, so that you can know your history, you can know where you came from, know that some were also resident in America already among the Black people. That's another story, right? It is not everybody that came from Africa, true, but a lot of people that came from Africa, they are inventors, they are great people. They brought this narrative to just change everything and make it lumped up and say all sort of things. But hey, guys, Black people are great people. They are achievers. They are people that, like I said, they change the trajectory of the whole world. And this is what I want to say, I want to celebrate, I want to bring out this for everybody to know that black people are successful people. Thank you. Let me know what your take is concerning this. Let the conversation begin. And of course, I'll be here to receive every conversation, every chat, every view. Together, let's celebrate Black History Month. Subscribe, like, and share if you love this great content. I'll be right back. Oh, don't forget, watch my next video because truly I'll be right back. When you tune in, bye for now.